Hey everybody, it's Debbie with Debbie D Stamp Studio. Welcome to Facebook Live Tuesday at 2. Today I have a fun bundle to share with you. It's one of those stamp sets or bundles that when I first saw it, I thought, wow, this looks like a really fun stamp set. And so I ordered it and put it with my other new stamp sets. And there it sat. And I didn't play with it for a long time. Well, now it's on the last chance list. So that doesn't really mean anything other than when it sells out, it's gone for good. One good thing is the dies are on sale. So the stamp set is not reduced right now, but the dies are. So if it looks like something that looks as fun to you as it did to me, then you can get it at a sale price. So this is the Swirled Designs. I just love the backgrounds, anything to add texture looking elements to your cards. I just love that. And what really caught my eye were the dies. They're just so fun. The star, the oval, the diamond. There's two different diamond shape sizes and two different oval sizes, and little flowers and leaf accents, and then stars too. So little stars. So anyway, I just thought it would be fun to finally use this. And then when I looked, it's on the last chance list. But anyway, that's okay because it is still available. But like I said, just it may sell out because it is super cute. So anyway, I've got 4 cards to make for you today, and so I better get started. So the first card is basically just using some of those stamps to create a fun background. So I have just a thick white card base and a basic white layer, and my layer is the 5 1/4 by 4, and that is what we are going to stamp on. And I have Pretty in Pink. I kind of went with a theme with the first 3 cards, not really on purpose, but I was using several colors, so I thought, well, I'll just kind of keep using those colors so I don't have all of my colors out at once. So I have Pretty in Pink, Lemon Lime Twist, and Summer Splash. And Pretty in Pink and Summer Splash are 2 of the in colors that will be going away shortly. May 4th will be the last day that those are available, as long as they continue to be available through the end of the catalog. So now I have those background pieces. We have the oval, or kind of circle. We have just that big blob looking piece, and then these little dashes. So I'm going to start with the just kind of scruffy looking background. I don't know, looks like a watercolor wash. And since this is a pretty solid image, I'm going to grab my Stampin' piercing mat, and I have cut mine in half back when I was doing classes just to make things go further. I cut them in half so I could get 2 per purse, or 2 mats out of 1. And it's just a little easier to work with too, I think. So we're just going to stamp this right there in our Pretty in Pink. And then with my Summer Splash is pretty juicy. So I'm going to do my spoon trick, scoot that ink out of the way. We probably won't have to do this with the new style of ink pads. I haven't tried that yet. And we're going to just stamp this, overlapping a little bit. And then with the lemon lime twist, we're going to stamp the little dash or hash marks just right along the bottom here. And I wanted to stamp it again, and I was trying on my sample, I was trying not to line them up, and I kept lining them up, and I didn't really want to, because I wanted, yes, I wanted more lines than what is just on the stamp. So there is that. Then we have the little accent flowers. So we're going to stamp those. Let me clean this off so I don't forget. And let's see, we have little flowers here. We're going to stamp those in Pretty in Pink. Just a couple different places. Just randomly on the card wherever you want to add that. And that is it for stamping. And now we have die cut the little flowers. And this is nice because these are all attached. So you have 3 different sizes that you can just run through your die cut machine one time and get 3 flowers. So I just ran it through my die cutting machine with each of the 3 different colors and got several different flowers, and I only need 3. So I picked out 3, one of each color, and I'm just going to glue one down on each of my little stamped areas. So with my Tombow liquid glue, I just need one little dot. You could either put a dot on your card where you want your flower, or put a dot on your flower. This always happens. I'm using it away right before I go live, and it's perfectly fine. And then I go live, and it's not. But I have a brand new bottle. I took crafts to Easter for the kids to do, and I opened a brand new bottle, and it's not going to cooperate either. Oh dear, this is irritating. There we go. I was afraid it was going to gush out everywhere. So then we're just going to add our flowers. Oh, that was kind of a lot. There. Close this one up and set it aside. And now I have my white baker's twine, and I'm just going to tie a bow, maybe. And I'm going to leave my loops kind of big because we're going to put our sentiment over the top of the bow. So leave them kind of big and trim that tail off kind of long. You can always trim it to your liking after you get done. We're going to add that to the card with a glue dot. So just press that knot down onto the glue dot, pick that up, and you don't have to worry about squishing it up behind there this time because you're going to cover it up. So I'm just going to put this on here at an angle so that my loops are kind of going at an angle, and the same with my tails, and set that aside. I didn't realize, or don't really need to still be working on my mat. And now I just have a scrap of basic white, and I'm going to stamp the word celebrate. That comes from the Banner Saying set. This is a great set of words, and it coordinates with the 3 banner punch. So we're going to use both of those. And a nice thing about this is that this set and punch both carry over to the new catalog. So I was excited about that. I always love it when something that I have carries over. I've been organizing, getting toward the end of the catalog. It's always organizing time, pulling out things that are retired, making room for new things. I scooched my ink out of the way, and now I need to get that inked up better. And I don't have very much left on my shelf from the annual catalog. So, but that means there's a lot of new things in the new catalog, which is also good. I like new things. Okay, so on my scrap, I have stamped the word celebrate from Banner Sayings, and I'm going to punch that out with this top little banner. So we'll just line that up and punch that out. And we are going to layer that right over the top of our bow. And since this part is going to go over the knot, we just need a dimensional on one end. So we'll just put a dimensional here. And then put that right over the top of our bow. And I should have glued this down to my card before I put this on here. And then you can leave your tails long if you like them that way, or you can trim them off. I'm going to trim mine off a little bit so they're not hanging off the edge of the card. That needs a little bit more. Okay, and now I would recommend gluing this onto your card base before you put your dimensionals on, but I think we can still get it on there. I just put new adhesive in my tape runner too. I had to adjust my phone for my unboxing, and I don't think I got it back to where it was. Feels different. Let me know if you can still see what I'm doing, or if I need to lower it, make it closer to my table, and I can adjust for next time. Okay, so now we're going to add some embellishments, and I grabbed the Rhinestone Basic Jewels. I haven't used these for so long, and I have a lot, and I just thought they'd be really cute as centers for my flowers. So we're just going to add a center to each flower and call that done. Give that a fold and a crease with our bone folder. And there you go. So a pretty simple card, just using those background pieces and a couple little die cuts. So I thought that was really fun. You could change up your colors and do it more masculine. You wouldn't have to put flowers. There's stars, or just the little like paint blobs. You could do that too. So super fun. And by using the word celebrate, that could be for just about any occasion. It could be for a birthday. It could be for a baby shower. It could be for a graduation, an anniversary, just about anything. So I love the word celebrate, because you can celebrate anything. Okay, so the next one, we are going to use another thick white card base. I love thick white for my card bases. And then we have a layer of a lemon lime twist. And then I wanted a little bit of texture, just really subtle. So I went through my designer series paper. I went through my embossing folders, and everything was just a little bit too much. And so I pulled out the Wood Texture Specialty Designer Series paper. It's just got a very subtle wood grain to it. And guess what? It is also on the last chance list. And it's also on sale. So if you like this, I would recommend getting it quickly before it's gone. But it's just a nice way to add a real subtle texture to your background if you're not going to be stamping on your layer. So we're not stamping on this layer, but we're going to add other things. So we can go ahead and glue this together. And then I'll show you what we're going to do. So since that is just such a subtle background, it doesn't really matter. It's just a wood grain. I have it running vertically. If you like your wood grain running horizontally, you can do it that way. You can add color to this as well if you want by using your blending brushes. It would add it to the top, and then where it's like embossed or debossed, I guess, the color wouldn't go down into there, so you would see like white grain on there. That would be really pretty too for a different project, not this one. Okay, so now we have our card base ready to go, and I have die cut each of the designs out of the 3 colors that I've been using. I have the Lemon Lime Twist, the Summer Splash, and Pretty in Pink. And then I've also die cut those out of Designer Series paper, but I'm using the inside piece. So, let's see. I used the, what's it called? The Designer Series paper that you can get in each of the color families. It's just Designer Series paper that has the Pretty in Pink and the Summer Splash, so the in colors, and the back side of that has just a paint splatter look to it, because we're going to stamp on that, and then the Lemon Lime Twist. So I cut them out of Designer Series paper. Here, I have them over here. And I'm just using the piece that cut out of the center. And then we're going to use those on the next card. Okay, so we're going to stamp on our pieces here. So I don't have my grid paper out. That's okay. We'll stamp on the back of this. So on the star, we're going to stamp those splatters in Summer Splash. So we're just going to randomly stamp some splatters. On that star. And they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to completely cover it. Just however you want to get some splatters on your star. And then we're going to stamp some stars on our diamond shape. So here's our stars with Lemon Lime Twist. And these are a little more subtle. They don't show up as much, but you can still see them. Whoops. I want one more up there. And then we're going to stamp the little flowers in Pretty in Pink on our Pretty in Pink oval. This looks kind of like an Easter egg. And again, it doesn't have to cover it completely, just so you have some flowers on your, okay, oval. Okay, so now, put that away. We are going to glue these down to our card. To get our spacing right, just kind of hold this. We don't want them perfect. We're going to overlap and make them kind of wonky. That's kind of perfect. And then this one we'll do here. Okay, so I'm going to glue my star down first. Just kind of slip it under here. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then my oval. And my diamond. I probably have been saying triangle the whole time. I don't remember how it was. I'm going to put it this way. Okay, so now I can glue my little pieces down. And this would be a good time to have your silicone mat and sponge. But I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. There's some spots that are a little bit thicker, and it doesn't take a lot to hold it down, so. And then we're just going to add this on here at an angle. I don't want it to go over the edge too much. It won't fit in my envelope. It can go over a little bit. That's good. Pat that down. And do the same for the oval. And we want to overlap the star a little bit. And we don't want to line them up perfectly. We want them offset. And the diamond. Okay, we're going to do the same thing like we did on the other card with the baker's twine. Tie a bow. These first three kind of have a theme going. They would make a cute card set if you did a card set as a gift. They all kind of coordinate. You could do a couple of each and give that as a gift. That would be fun. And this time we are going to add this like right here. Get that going. And then on our scrap of basic white, we are going to stamp Happy Birthday this time. And since our layer is Lemon Lime Twist, we are going to stamp it in Lemon Lime Twist. So let's ink that up and stamp Happy Birthday. And then get our 3 banner punch. And this time we're going to use the middle banner. punch that out. That's kind of cute. Hang on to that because we're going to use that on the next card. And let's see, this time we're going to overlap that and put a dimensional on either end. Not a glue dot, a dimensional. So just overlap that and put that down and grab our rhinestones again, and we'll add, you can add as many as you want. I'm going to put 3. Whoops, stick down there. There you go. Give that a fold and a crease. It looks like I need to trim my tails of my bow. They are a little long. So there is that one. Another one, you could change up the sentiment and use that for whatever you wanted to. So pretty cute. I love it. So now the next one, we're going to use the outline dies from the designer series paper that we used in the card before. So we have our 3 outline dies that we had. And this time we're going to use a summer splash layer and another piece of that wood grain since we're not stamping on our layer. And then I have some of the little stars that I cut out. And just like the flowers, there's 3 stars on the die. So when you run that through your die cutting machine, you get all 3 stars at once. And on this star, you get the outline plus the star from the inside. So it's like a bonus. And I have ink on my fingers. I know you find that hard to believe. Okay. So we can put our layers together. And on this card, my summer splash layer is 5 1/4 by 4, which is your typical layer for your first layer. So my wood grain would be 5 by 3 3/4. So it's a 1/4 of an inch smaller. So it has a nice border around the outside. So typically your borders are a 1/4 of an inch smaller as you go. Sometimes I make them skinnier, like that last card. I made it a skinny little border of the lemon lime twist. Just depends on how much you want to show. I think I need to change my blade. I'm getting fuzzy edges. Okay, so now we're ready to start creating on this card. So this time we're just going to glue our little shapes down. And let's see, we're going to start with our pretty and pink oval. The top, you could start at the bottom, whichever way you choose. A little glue around the edges, and these not really thick, but a little bit thicker than the rest of the spots. And again, I'm not going to glue this straight. I'm going to put it at a little bit of an angle. Not a lot. Whoops. Sticking to my finger for sure. a little bit of an angle and just pat that down. And then we're going to do the diamond. These would have been good pieces to cut out using the sticker paper. And you can just peel and stick. And then this piece, we're going to, I need to move it up a little bit, overlap on the first one. And then the star. I think they're actually called adhesive sheets. It's not called sticker paper in the catalog. So if you're looking for that, it would be adhesive sheets. You adhere it to the back of your designer series paper or cardstock before you cut with your dies, and then it's just peel and stick rather than having to use your glue. And then add the star over the top of that. And everything is sticky that way. You don't have to worry about little pieces sticking up like that. You might be able to add just a touch of glue. Yep. And hold that down. Okay, now we have this cute little banner that punched out when we punched out our banner from the last card. So we're just going to go ahead and use that. And there's a cute little saying in the banner sayings, cue the confetti. And since we have Summer Splash as our layer, we're going to stamp in Summer Splash. The cue the confetti. And we'll just stamp that right in the center of this cute little banner. And we'll do our baker's twine bow again. So as you can see, there is a theme, like I said, going on with these. I just figured may as well make them all kind of the same. The last one's totally different, so it didn't follow the theme at all. But I made it first. Okay, push that down on the glue dot. And this is going to go right here on the star. This time I want both my tails down. Cut that off. And it's going to go here, so we only need a dimensional on the bannered end. No, I don't need the glue dots. I need dimensionals. So just set that there. Make sure that's straight and push that down. Trim our tails hanging off the card. Okay, and we have our little stars that we cut, so we need to add those. Tiny little bit of glue. And we're just going to add one up here. Then we have, let's see, I need my Summer Splash here. So if you cut out a bunch of stars all at once, then you just alternate, and each card might be a little bit different depending on where your stars, or what stars you use. And then we'll put this one, I'm going to put it down, whoops, here. And now we can add our rhinestones. We'll put one up here. I don't know. One down there. And then one up here. Okay. And give that a fold. And crease. And there is that one. I love that. You get 2 cards by cutting out the shapes from your designer series paper. So you have the outline and then you use the inside on a different card. So fun. And then the last one, like I said, is totally different. Doesn't fit the theme at all, but it was the first card that I made. So it has part of the colors, has Summer Splash card base, then a lemon lime twist layer, and this layer is the 5 by 3 3/4. So I wanted more of the border of the Summer Splash to show, and so then the white layer that we're going to stamp on is the 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. So it's a little bit smaller than what we're used to. Okay, so on this one, we do need Summer Splash. We don't need Pretty in Pink. But we are going to add some Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape. So first thing we're going to do is use that oval or round, it's more round, the stamp, in 3 different colors. And the first one I'm going to stamp is Highland Heather. Let me get my Stampin' Piercing mat. And my Highland Heather is real juicy too, so let's scooch some ink out of the way. And you can tell, well, you can tell by looking at your ink pad, but you can tell when you ink up your stamp and you can see how that ink beaded up on there. I don't want that look when I stamp. So by scooching some of the ink out of the way, it helps alleviate that beaded up look. So now I can stamp and get a nice, more smooth stamped image. Like I said, I don't think we'll have that problem with our new style ink pads. Being the felt pad, they shouldn't do that. Okay, and now I need the Summer Splash. That. We're going to stamp one over here. And then I need Lemon Lime Twist. And we're going to stamp one up here. Okay. Then we have that splatter that we used on one card before, and we're going to stamp that with Gorgeous Grape. Just a couple times, randomly. to stamp it here. Oops, that was not good. I just stamped Gorgeous Grape in my Highland Heather. And one more time, we're going to stamp here. Okay. Okay, so now, oh, I almost panicked. I thought I forgot to cut stuff, but it's sitting right here. I have a Gorgeous Grape star cut out and then a bunch of little stars cut out. So, but before we start putting all that together, we can glue this onto our card. So let's glue our card together. So I can glue the white, basic white, down to the lemon lime twist. It doesn't matter on the lemon lime twist because I can turn that around. And the Gorgeous Grape goes at the bottom. And then this just centers on your card front. Okay, so now we can add our die cuts. So let's add our big star first. So a lot of little areas here. Add some just to the tips to make sure that that's stuck down. And decide which way you want your star. It really doesn't matter, but I do want my star fairly straight on my card this time instead of at an angle. So that looks, I mean, it's not the perfect star, but that's fairly straight. Okay, and then we can add our little stars. And this one, I'm just going to put up here. And let's see, we're going to add what was the inside of that star. Just kind of at an angle, my sticky fingers. And then we have our other 3 stars. We're going to add down here. Whoa. And this little bitty one. Oh. Those might have been easier to add dots of glue to your card and use your take your pick tool to pick those up and dot them on there. I'm not ready for those yet. Okay, so now I have a scrap of basic white, and we're going to use the Happy Birthday stamp again, and we're going to use Gorgeous Grape. It's a nice dark purple. It will show up nicely on there. So we're going to stamp first this time. That way we can use our 3 banner punch. And we are going to use the middle one with the banners on each end. Line that up. And punch that out. And then I wanted the lemon lime twist behind it to just kind of help it pop off. You know, it just kind of blends in right now. So I have a strip of lemon lime twist, but I didn't want the same banner ends. So I thought, well, I'll point the ends. So this banner has a banner with a point, but it's really short. So I just cut one, and I'm just going to use it as a guide. Put it on my, I cut my lemon lime twist the length that I wanted it, and I'm just going to use it as a guide so I can cut the points of my lemon lime twist. I could freehand it, but I was afraid I would not get it even, and then I wouldn't be happy with that. So now I can glue these 2 pieces together. Whoops, it's quite a bit longer than I had expected. So I'm going to glue it. I'm going to go ahead and glue it together. And fix it. I think that was my plan, to do one end. And then you can line this up and match this point with the point of your banner, and then just trim that off. I just wanted it a little bit. And now you can see that on your card a little better. And we're going to add that on the card with dimensionals. And I want it going, not upside down, going across the star, kind of in the middle. And now we can add our rhinestones. And this time, depending on where you stamp your splatters, this is going to probably change where you put your rhinestones. So I'm going to put 5 on this one this time. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay. So give that a fold and a crease. And there you go. Like I said, that was totally different. Didn't fit the theme of the Pretty in Pink, Lemon Lime Twist, and Summer Splash. But that was the first card I made. And then I kind of got on a roll of the other color scheme. So, but I like it. I like the boldness of the Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather. Like, you can change your color scheme, do any color combination, and it would be fun. Oh my goodness. Highland Heather. Hard to close. Okay, so there are your cards. No, yep, I was gonna say, I know I made 4. There we go. So hopefully you can see those. Yes, I need to adjust my phone because I can't see the comments. So that is Swirled Designs Bundle. I love it. I hope you loved it as much as I do. So thanks for joining me today. Oh, I did want to tell you, the last chance list has been updated. Lots of things have been added, lots of things on sale. We had 2 new kits added in April, and the new catalog begins on May 5th. So if you haven't already told me, if you would like a new catalog, let me know and I will get one in the mail to you as soon as possible. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.